point is, if you can do micro-recoveries, that is making shifts at the micro level, millisecond level, you're going to have a better life. Why? Well, let me put it this way. You have the conscious mind side and the network of neurons side. If you make changes on the conscious mind side, where the processing speed is 50 bits per second, it's a lot of effort and the impact is small compared to the network of neurons side, where you're catching it so early. So imagine this, 11 million bits per second. By the time the conscious mind comes online, it's already been a half second. So let's say you got 5 million bits of information processed, and that's taking into account your cognitive biases, meta-programs, paths of least resistance, past habits, etc., etc. All of that movement. But if we can intervene at the first 2/10, at the 200 millisecond level, you've cut that thing off with barely more than 2 million bits of processing time. And it's not even going to be that because you're so early on it, and half of that first 2/10 is pre-listening. But even if you miss that and catch the middle 2/10 with the positivity exercise, which is powerful, by the way, because with the positivity, if you do the drills, you'll notice difference in 2 weeks. You'll be able to see it and work it in real time. But it works even in chaos and in the worst of situations if you do the full 6 weeks of practice. And that is powerful. So you literally will go from, and this is not scientific, I don't have a measurement tool for this, but based on experience, you will go from something like 80% of the stimuli you encounter being interpreted as a threat to less than 20% being interpreted as a threat, which means you have fewer fight or flight impulses, you have less cortisol and adrenaline, you're coherent more of the time, you're not in fight or flight or pre-fight or flight mode, you don't have the chemical imbalance that happens with cortisol. In other words, just by doing the positivity exercise and being able to catch these things at the middle 2/10, it's a game changer. And you will have less need for emotional modulation, which actually doesn't come into play until the conscious mind side, until you make it a habit. Once you make it a habit, that conscious modulation, that emotional modulation can be done habitually as well. So that's a good thing. All right, I got a little section coming up. I'm probably going to have to tune out for a moment just so I can get through it and see what it looks like. Yeah, here it is. Okay, a little tighter. Oh yeah. Woohoo! Yeah, baby. Oh yeah.